Khamzat Chimaev, according to many people, should have gotten a title shot a few years ago, but after UFC 319, he now sits at the top of the middleweight division. The Chechen-born fighter showcased absolute dominance against Dricus du Plessis, with his grappling overwhelming the former champion throughout the entirety of the 5 rounds. Chimaev's clinical performance last weekend has garnered comparisons with UFC legend Khabib Nurmagome. According to UFC stats, Chimaev landed 529 total strikes, executed 12 takedowns, and controlled his opponent for 21 minutes and 40 seconds. That figure eclipsed Jailton Almeida's 21 and against Derek Lewis, though it remains just shy of Sean Sherk's all-time mark 22-18 in 2007. For hardcore fans tracking the sport's statistical lineage, it positioned Chimaev within the same rarefied air as some of MMA's most suffocating grinders. Khabib Nurmagome, much like Khamzat Chimaev, has always etched their name in UFC history as one of the greatest wrestlers in the sport of MMA. Both of them also became champions as undefeated fighters. So, it's no surprise that people tend to compare Chimaev and Nurmagome. However, Hall of Fame legend Daniel Cormier claims there is a difference between the two Russian stars when it comes to their wrestling. Daniel Cormier is a former teammate of Khabib Nurmagome and has trained with him multiple times throughout the years of his time as an active fighter in the UFC. Hence, we can assume that he's fairly acquainted with the many tricks and tools the Russian fighter had that he used in his fights. On that note, Cormier claimed that, unlike Khamzat Chimaev, Nurmagomedov's approach to taking down his opponents varied, which made it hard for his opponents to figure out his next move. Khabib let you know that he was going to take you down, and you were going to have to deal with him on the ground. The problem is you didn't know how Khabib was going to take you down, Daniel Cormier stated on the Good Guy/Bad Guy show. The Hall of Fame legend claims that the Eagle was able to take down his opponents in different positions and in different ways. When it comes to Khamzat Chimaev, he created a record for the longest control time at 21 minutes and 40 seconds, overtaking Jailton Almeida's record against Derek Lewis. However, Daniel Cormier claims that Dricus du Plessis could have avoided getting taken down on multiple occasions if he had known how to handle Chimaev's takedown attempts. That's because Boers only goes for double-leg takedowns, which are fairly easy to avoid, according to DC. Khabib could take you down from a single. If he pushed you against the fence, he'd get the single. He might lift you, he might kick your foot down, and trip you. He might just trip you. He shoots the double. Khabib had a lot of takedowns, Daniel Cormier added. Khamzat is just relying on the double leg. And you and I know that the double leg is very dangerous. But, it is one of the more safe takedowns that we, as wrestlers, would be prepared to defend, stepping in the octagon. Well, these comments from Daniel Cormier weren't a knock on Khamzat Chimaev, even though he put his former teammate ahead of the Chechen star in terms of wrestling. After all, the duo shared a wholesome moment after Chimaev's win over Dricus du Plessis. Khamzat Chimaev was out to shut up his critics at UFC 319, as many people questioned his cardio. Well, we saw him run through Dricus du Plessis in all the rounds, maintaining the same level of intensity the whole 25 minutes. When Chimaev went backstage after his fight last weekend, Daniel Cormier praised his performance while also answering a key question. As Daniel Cormier claimed, "That was awesome," Khamzat Chimaev wanted to hear what he had to say about his gas tank. "Did I gas out?" he asked, as DC claimed, "No, not all. You did amazing. Be proud. Congratulations." Well, that debate about the lack of cardio has ended after Chimaev's explosive performance at UFC 319, as he not only made money but also won the title. The question is not if Chimaev is elite, but how sustainable his approach will be when the division adjusts. Israel Adesanya praised the performance, yet noted stylistically that there are answers for double-heavy wrestlers. Robert Whittaker's reactive takedown defense and judo counters. Or Sean Strickland's jab, heavy pressure, could test whether Chimaev can adapt mid-fight. This is where he diverges from Khabib. Nurmagomedov thrived against every archetype. Power punchers, slick strikers, elite wrestlers. Because he had multiple pathways to the mat. Chimaev may need to expand beyond the double leg if he wants to reign long-term. For fans who live in the details. That's the narrative to watch. Will he evolve, or will brute force continue to carry him?